Welcome, comrade, to the People's Dungeon Crawl. We are here on level 1 of the lair, having defeated the mighty Gastronach, the Slug Father. Um, and we already cleared level 2, preparing for that fight. That actually ended up being rather simple. We just peppered him from afar. So there's a buckler. It's worth noting because if we ever decide to switch away from bows, abandon bows for good, we've sort of parked it at 12 for now. Sorry, a little pause there while my microphone kicks in again. Um, while we're still using bows fairly regularly, we haven't found too many offensive sources of magic yet. We haven't found an artifact weapon that makes us want to switch to melee. We're still, we're getting ammunition from Okawaru. But anyway, if we decide to eventually switch away from bows and only use them sort of as the last resort, we can pick up a buckler and train shields up to 5. Level 5 is the point at which you have no spellcasting or evasion penalty for wielding a buckler. Normal shields is 15, I believe, and large shields is like 25 or something ridiculous. So that's worth noting for the future. I don't really want to haul it around right now. I can't think of too many circumstances in which I would want to take the time to put on a buckler. It takes a couple of turns, I think. And I would much rather just be able to switch this spear. Ooh. See, now I almost wish I had worshipped Vedasmadash, the plant god. Because see, up here is a black mamba. Black mambas are just pants-wettingly terrifying if you have no source of poison resistance, which we still don't have any poison resistance. And if I were a worshiper of Vedasmadash, I would probably have enough piety right now to be able to shoot arrows through that bush and into that black mamba. As it is, we have to wait until it's there. And they're so fast. They're extremely fast. You can't run away from them, even with haste. They are still faster than you, unless you are a fast race. It is still asleep, so there's a small chance that we'll be able to back off, and it won't notice us, and we can just go about our merry way. No harm, no foul. Alright. Okay, so that's something, at least. We don't have to fight. Like, even the prospect of fighting a black mamba and a rat, the weakest enemy in the entire game, even that's terrifying. Because the rat could block like a single arrow, and that see, that mushroom is blocking the way. We are going to make use, I guess, of our god stuff. If we can't shoot through plants, we might as well become heroic, and yeah, we have finesse as well. See, it only takes us 0.4 or 0.3 turns to shoot an arrow. And the minimum delay of this is 0.6, which I don't even think we've reached yet. So finesse is great. Actually, at 17, that might have reached the minimum delay. I don't know. Bow algorithms are weird. With melee weapons, I might have mentioned this earlier, but it's worth mentioning again. With melee skills, each 2 points reduces your minimum delay of your weapon by 1/10 of a turn. So where it says here, your base attack delay is 1.1 and the minimum delay is 0.5, that is 0.6 apart. It means you need 12 levels in pole arms to reach the minimum delay of the weapon. And that is the largest proportional increase in damage in the game. Getting to minimum delay of your weapon is very, very important for all melee characters. And range characters to a certain extent as well. Range characters, it just takes more. So a lot of people will train their melee skill to that minimum delay and then turn it off forever because they've reached the biggest power spike that they can get and they focus on something else. However, training a skill past the minimum delay of the weapon does increase your damage and accuracy with the weapon somewhat. Man, another Black Mamba. Whew. Okawaru be with us. Yeah. So anyway, we're firing at lower than the minimum delay of our bow. And that is the only reason why we were able to kill those Black Mambas, because we were able to hit them at least as fast as they were hitting us. Water Moccasin should be no problem after those guys. That's why. There we go. That's because we got one of the other two optional branches, which I kept having Gastronoc interrupt my description of. The Snake Pit, or the Spider's Cave, Spider's Nest. We got the Snake Pit. That's too bad. Well, it'll be entertaining for both of us, because the new Snake Pit as of 0.14 is way harder than previous versions of Crawl. They dramatically changed the enemies present in the Snake Pit. So now there are like salamanders and shock serpents, and you need all kinds of resistances, not just poison resistance. Though that is still also completely necessary, and we are so in trouble. Okay, we kind of have a choke point here, assuming that he doesn't move. Oh, they hurt so much. Oh, and we're poisoned. Oh, no. We haven't explored a whole lot of the level. Oh, well, our heroism ran out, and our finesse will probably run out soon. Crap. Well, the miasma is doing some work. Oh, fortunately we have potions of curing, so this is not quite as deadly of a scenario as it could be if we did not have that. See, that helped a lot. That got rid of our prior poison. Of course, he poisoned us again because he's a jerk face. I see. That's why it became a choke point, because that cloud of miasma prevented the second Mamba from wanting to walk into the first Mamba, I guess, maybe. Anyway, we got a little bit more on our fire magic. We're going to go ahead and turn that off, because Conjure Flame is the only thing that it's benefiting. But I'm glad that I remembered that I had that, because now... Oh, I see, there's already a cloud there, so that's cool. Foul plus Pestilence. Alright, well, our mutations are awesome. That was... I'm pretty sure we 100% won that fight because of that cloud of miasma from our foul stench mutation. Yeah, that's pretty stellar. All right, we survived another one of Crawl's checks, which is Black Mamba number 9. I can't take credit for that. Another streamer came up with that clever pun. I wish I could remember the names of these Let's Play videos authors, because they're all fantastic. I can tell you though that if you let's see, Hito is one of them, Zoopy Jubles is another, and then like Quill24 or something like that is a third. If you search YouTube for Let's Play Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, or just Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, you will find them. They are fantastic streamers, each in their own right very entertaining. And also where I've learned a lot of tips and tricks, including a lot of the keybinds that I get to share with you. So please support Let's Play. Check out some of these other guys' streams. Subscribe to them. It's free to subscribe. You know, it just lets them know that there are people taking a look at what they're doing, even if you don't monetarily support them. You know, they can get advertising dollars and stuff. Me, I don't think I see a cent of anything on here, and maybe nobody else does on YouTube either. But you know, we love these games, and that's what Let's Play videos are for us to share our love of games with you in a manner that doesn't require you to bash your head against the keyboard all of those times that we did, getting to this point. Perhaps at some point I will do a brief interlude recording with my morgue file where it keeps all of the characters that I've had that have died, that have, you know, not ascended with the Orb of Zot. It would be really interesting to see how many digits of characters that number is. Um, at least three. At least 3 digits. Oh, there's a crooked staff, but there's also a mimic in our face. That's unpleasant. He's pretty fast. Well, I think we can shoot him down. I shot the mimic, but I did not shoot the Quokka deputy. Yeah, sometimes I try a little too hard. Regardless, we're going to eat this Quokka because we can. It's always good to be at more than full. But we found a staff, which is kind of cool. It is a Staff of Conjuration, Neato. Both of our spells are conjuration spells. And so this will enhance their power when I cast them. It's probably not worth, walking around with, because we're still sort of on the shoot it till it dies method here. But we really actually should be casting our Mephitic Cloud and Conjure Fire spells more. We have them down to a very, very low failure rate. 6% is just fine. That's especially with something like Mephitic Cloud is not really a panic spell. Okay, so here's where I want to take a look at skills for a minute. I really need to turn off invocations. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, our finesse is at 5% failure rate. I probably could have stopped invocations at level 7. But I'm okay with it being at level 8. I mean, we had a +3 aptitude, so it's not like we funneled too much of our overall experience into that. We've got conjurations up to a decent amount. We could probably cast level 4 spells now with fair reliability if we find another book. As long as it's a conjuration spell, that is. Evocations, I want to keep training. The diminishing returns begin to really hit hard around level 15 of evocations. I think I am going to turn on stealth for a little bit. This is one of the things that I learned from Zoopy Jubles, a fellow crawl streamer. If you have just 3 or 4 levels in stealth, and you're not wearing heavy armor like plate armor or chainmail or dragon scale armor, that kind of stuff, just 3 or 4 levels in stealth will just so frequently help you out when you're exploring the dungeon. Monsters just won't notice you the instant that you step onto the screen. Like those green rats right here. If I didn't have any stealth, maybe they would be awake, and I would have to deal with 3 green rats instead of just 1. Just little tiny advantages. Yeah, see, only one of them woke up. Maybe both of them would have woken up. I don't know. Little tiny advantages are very good to have in crawl. Like every single thing you can get going your way helps a ton. So it takes a lot of faces splattered against a wall that you ran into to get to the point where you can survive in this game reliably. It's just good habits to pick up, and some of those you get by sort of finding your own rhythm. Others you get by watching other people. But for now, we're going to read this book of Geomancy. Cool. It's the lower level Earth spell book, and I think this might tip me towards putting points into Earth magic over air. Air's final ultimate spell is objectively more powerful and has more utility than Earth's. But along the way, Earth has some really, really useful stuff, including Stone Arrow and Iron Shot and Lehudib's Crystal Spear, ICS, which are projectile spells that are very, very heavily damaging and are resisted by no monsters in the game. They will do some damage to any monster you encounter, which becomes more and more important later on. It still checks, I think, against their armor class, as any physical attack would, but the possibility of doing damage is very, very important. Anyway, we are going to go ahead and, in fact, memorize Stone Arrow. Yeah. Alright. It's already... Our conjuration's high enough that it's at a 4% failure rate. That's awesome. It is not super powerful yet, but it can get up to, what is that, 6 pips? That's really good. Costs a fair amount of hunger. That is one thing to keep in mind, even as a utility spellcaster, is how much hunger your spells cost. It's directly related to your spellcasting skill. Oh, into which I've put no points. Might want to do that. Yeah, this looks fine for now. I will probably turn off spellcasting soon, or conjurations, and put some into earth magic. So yeah, the spell power versus spell hunger. Spell power is increased by primarily the spell schools that spell is consists of, and a little bit by spell casting, although not much. Spell hunger is influenced by spellcasting and other things, but this is a 7-headed Hydra, so I'm going to stop thinking about that. This seven-headed Hydra can kill us in one round. Each head gets an attack. Each attack is, well, a lot of damage. I mean, think about it this way. We only have 84 hit points total. We're currently at 78. So even if each attack only dealt 11 damage, it would leave us with 1 hit point. And I know for sure that their max damage is at least 20. Yeah. Well. This is where spells are cool. We're going to cut it off with flame if we can. Which we might be... Oh, whoa, nope. Okay, well. Often monsters are hesitant to walk through flame. This Hydra does not have a care in the world. Let's hope that this wand has another charge in it. Crap. Well. Oh, yes, it did work. Okay, it had 1 charge left. Now it has 0 charges. Our evocations let us calculate the power of that device. It has 0 charges. Okay, that's actually really cool. I'm glad that we know that. And that it happened exactly as it did. Alright. So we are hasted. That means we might... Oh, yes, we are faster than it. We might survive this. We're going to heroism. The piety cost is low enough that in any kind of dangerous situation, if you have that little turn, I guess 0.7 turns, it's worth using. That lets us switch to our bow. And I believe we can just kite it back. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Alright. That was not too bad. If you shoot arrows of fire or fireballs or whatever over water, it makes the water boil. You see down the message, the Hydra corpse is consumed in a burst of flame in white text. That means we got 2 piety instead of just 1. If it's a normal, the corpse is consumed by flame in blue text. That is 1 piety. I think it's a 0-1-2 setup. I don't know that for sure. You might gain more piety even with higher hit dice monsters. Man, I hate having to... I wonder if we can conjure flame on this fungus. Nope. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Alright, so we can just stone arrow that fungus to death. It'll be a lot faster than trying to bash it with our spear. Trying to prod it to death. And I really wanted that arrow. I'm really miserly with arrows. Ooh, we found... Those are Kurare tipped needles. we'll leave them there because we're in the lair and nothing can wield them. No, there are no yaks with blowguns. And if something with a blowgun chases us down to layer 3, we're probably in trouble anyway. A pandemonium lord wielding a ruined blowgun. But curare tip needles are really, really cool, especially early on, because they poison, slow, and exhaust, I think, or make breathless the monsters that you shoot with them. It's basically a get-out-of-jail-free card against target monster if you have enough throwing skill to, hit the thing, which is not that much. Here's a box of beasts. We're going to go ahead and grab it. It's a kind of a neat evocable item. When you open it, it releases a friendly chimera that has the body and head of one animal and 2 heads of other animals. And its strength increases with your evocation skill. So right now our evo is rank 7, so it's probably not very strong. But when we get up to like rank 12 or something like that, skill level 12, we could have some pretty beastly chimeras, to turn a phrase. Anyway. Beastly beasts. I think we're mostly done with this level. Yeah. Now you'll notice that you can kind of see me moving when I auto-explore, like it shows me actually traveling the map. You can turn that off. You can speed that up. You can get rid of it entirely, so you just jump to your next destination. In the web browser version, it does jump you to your next destination, but it has a trail of footprints leading back to where you were, which is kind of cool. I feel like I get a better sense of where things are on the map if I see my character move through the halls. It's sort of a, I don't know, like tactile thing almost. And I sort of know better which way to escape to. Like it's another one of those things where it's not a big advantage, but if it feels like it gives you a slight edge, you might as well go for it. Like just because somebody does something one way, doesn't mean you have to do it that way if you have a preferred way of doing things. Okay, we're gonna shift G for our fast travel to waypoint 1. We're gonna hit 1. That's gonna take us back to our stash. I'm gonna grab this scroll of recharging, and I am going to recharge this wand of hasting. It now has 5 charges. This is why wands can be awesome, especially the beneficial ones. Hasting, teleportation, and heal wounds, with heal wounds being the most critical of those. Because anytime you find a scroll of recharging, it's like finding 5 potions of heal wounds that get better with your evocation skill. Like it scales up as opposed to being a fixed amount. Yeah, evocations is a great skill to have on any character. That's something that the Let's Play videos of Zoopy Jubals taught me. And I'd fiddled with evocations before, but there were some cool moments in those videos where having evocations on an otherwise, not evocations character really helped out. Or maybe it was Hito's stream. I don't know. One of those other streamers. So that's kind of cool. Let's see. We can try on this little guy. Let's see what happens if we... Oh. Well, piffle. Let's see what our spells are at. So they're not bad even without the Ring of Wizardry. That's good to know. We don't really need positive energy in the lair. We're not going to be finding anything. Elephants don't wield draining weapons. And there are no wights or undead or anything like that. So it's kind of between magical power and wizardry. We might as well leave on the wizardry then. Though it's good to know we have other options for when we find more rings. Hopefully we'll find many of those. Sort of a rule of thumb for Dungeon Crawl is that I wonder. No, taking this off is probably a bad idea. The armor class is probably worth it. Oh, geez, what was I just talking about? Okay, well, there's a ghost. That's not great. Rando Randerson. Oh my, this was a cool Abyssal Knight. This was a very stupid death. Um, I was playing fairly late at night, and uh, well, it was hubris. I tried to fight a Hydra that was too large for me, and failed to use any of the many amazing panic buttons that Lugano gives you. So, rest in peace, Rando Randerson. Or you will rest in peace once I slay you. Again. Presumably. Oh, wait, I didn't even... It looks extremely dangerous. Well, crap. Huh. Come, Okawaru. Join me in battle. Hey. He did join me in battle. He gave me some arrows. Sweet. Thanks, dude. Alright, now let's see if we can even kill this guy. I am going to kind of see... One nice thing with Crawl is that nothing happens until you do something that takes a turn. So you can look at all kinds of stats whenever you want. I was just kind of checking to see if I wanted to make any changes with skills, because when I kill this ghost, not if, I'm positive that we will prevail. It'll be a big chunk of experience, and I want to make sure it's going to things that it's going to significantly benefit. I think I will turn off stealth for that reason, and I will focus conjurations. Yeah, because spellcasting is incrementally beneficial. Portions of a rank are still helpful to you. Conjurations I want to try and get up to level 10, and evocations I want to get up to level 10 or so as well. And also that leaves me with only one negative aptitude that will be getting experience, and I think I'll do it like that. So 80% of the experience that I receive from killing this ghost will go to things with a positive or neutral aptitude. Once we slay him, that is. We're not doing a lot of damage. I seem to recall he was fairly tough. What does it say what he's... Oh, the spear bearer. So he's probably using a pole arm. So backing off is going to be even tougher. Okay. The Cloud of Foul Miasma will not do anything to him because he's a ghost. He does not breathe. I think I'm going to try this until... Ah, there we go. That's a couple of good hits. All right. Yeah, Rando Randerson ain't no thing. Boom. Okay, yeah. So 0.2 more in conjurations, 0.2 more in evocations, 0.2 more in spellcasting. That was a good fight. The Great Outdoor Fight. If you guys haven't read Achewood, your life is not yet complete. Achewood is a comic written by a genius. Who is it written by? Oh, someone absolutely fantastic. Anyway, there's a segment of it that you can actually get it in book form, called The Great Outdoor Fight, and it's one of the best reads of fiction I think I've ever experienced. Hey, a potion of heal wounds, finally. A good rule of thumb in Crawl is that you're always short on something. Like either you have a ton of crazy artifacts, but you don't have any scrolls of identify, and you haven't since level 2, so you can't even tell what your potions are. Like that's one way to be short of things. I feel like we're a little short on just cool stuff. I don't feel like we've... Oh, well, no sooner spoken than we find an artifact ring mail. Thank you, thank you. This is why Crawl is awesome. Let's see if we get screwed. Ooh. No, we do not. We have here ring mail, which is... It has a higher encumbrance rating than our leather armor, which has 4 encumbrance rating. It's considered medium armor instead of light armor, but it's not so bad that it makes our spells uncastable. See? With our Ring of Wizardry, we still have no problems casting these spells. Even if we take it off, not a big deal. I mean, it goes up a bit, but not too bad. Not too bad. We become less stealthy. In fact, we are unstealthy now, so I'm kind of glad I turned off stealth where I did. They'd be kind of... Maybe later we'll put some more points into it. But it gives us double magic resistance, more armor class. Well, I guess the same, since that was a +1, and this is an artifact, so it can never be enchanted past +0. That's okay, because it also increases our accuracy by 4, which is great. I mean, that's just like icing on the cake. It's free. I would wear this even if it was just a +0 ring mail with double magic resistance. That's really cool. It means I feel I can take these boots off. Yeah, I feel I can take these boots off and have access to our melee attack, and they were gonna fall off anyway when we reached level 3 of our body slot, our toenails, sharp toenails, when they turn into claws. That is when we will no longer be able to wear any boots at all, not even if we don't care about the melee attack. We need to eat some food. Hunger, as I might have mentioned before, is mostly relevant to spellcasters. Obviously, there are branches like the Tomb, which is all undead, or the Labyrinth, which is a maze, and, fits the flavor, where there isn't really any food, and so you need permafood to survive, where you can't butcher corpses. Hunger can be an issue for everybody there, but not here in the lair. We can eat most things here. Fire drakes suck. They breathe fire at you. It sets your things on fire, your scrolls on fire, which is very sad. I don't want to lose any of these scrolls. Fortunately, we did already drop a bunch off in our lair. So, break line of sight. Switch to the bow. Get closer. Oh, man. We don't have a non-flaming bow, do we? That sucks. I wonder if we quiver arrows of dispersal, if they will... Yeah, they take over. Okay. I'm willing to... Okay, see, now he's in melee range. They generally don't breathe fire... well, no sooner said than... it is on a breath timer. Dragons... Draconians, drakes, all those things. Yay, we got a gift! Oh, it's shiny chainmail. Probably not as good as our ringmail, especially since there's no way that we're casting spells in chainmail. We are going to try it on, though, because it's a god gift. God gifts are cool. It's one of the reasons why we're worshipping Okawaru. It's good to surround yourself with walls like this when you're resting. I mean, we still have quite a bit of line of sight to monsters that are wandering by, but this keeps you from being snuck up on and surrounded by bees. Bees are really rough. +2 chainmail of cold resistance. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hang on to that and maybe even carry it around with me. We'll just ditch this leather armor. We're probably not going to wear that. But I am going to wear this ring mail, so that way we can cast spells, like if we try on the chainmail. By the way, make sure you're safe when you're switching armor. It takes a long time, especially for the heavier stuff. Yeah, 98% failure. Forget that. But we will keep this around in case we encounter, say, the entrance to an ice cave that we want to plunder. And then we can, swap into our ice armor and just not have spells available to us. Because we've got our bow, and we've got, moderate evocations at this point. We've got a potion of Berserk Rage now, so yeah, we've got tons of options. Even without the 3 spells that we have, which really I should be using more. See how effective it is. Okay, it's probably, oh geez, still using blink arrows. Don't need to be using those against yaks. Go back to normal arrows. Though that did give us an extra few turns, so not wasted. We probably would have been fine regardless, but, you know, a little bit of peace of mind goes a long way in Crawl. Like, that just guaranteed we won the fight instead of making it a 98% chance. It was virtually a 100% chance there. So close as to be indistinguishable. You can tell I'm being a little bit cavalier about these yaks. Like, I'm not really backing up. I'm probably not giving them the respect that is due to them. Oh, wow, especially now that there's a Catoblepus. Catoblepus? Catoblepus? I don't know. It's a giant mouse-looking thing that breathes calcifying dust for a really long range. That if you stand in it for more than one turn, if you don't immediately move out of it with your next action, you will be petrified, which means you slowly turn to stone for just a heinously long number of turns. So what we're going to do is we're going to get in a position where we can stair dance. Stair dancing, if you recall, is where you have monsters standing next to you and you pull them up as you go up the stairs. Catoblepus. Oh, it's a buffalo, not a mouse. I'm just not up to date on my mythological zoology. Mythozoology, I think, is the actual term, and you can take classes in mythozoology at some universities. The things you can spend money on. Actually, it's really cool, and I wouldn't mind taking a class on mythozoology. That'd be pretty sweet. Be really awesome for Dungeons & Dragons. Get super detailed. Alright, so here, let's try Mephitic Cloud. No, we don't want to launch it there. The trick with Mephitic Cloud, it is beam targeting and not bolt targeting. Bolt targeting goes through everything you aim it at. Beam targeting intersects the closest thing if it hits it. So we're going to cast it there, so it gets the corner. And probably do it again. Okay, there's calcifying dust. We're going upstairs. Ah, shucks. Well, now we're turned to stone. This is not as bad as it may sound. One, because we have the miasma mutation, which means whenever he hits us, we belch out these gross clouds in his face, and he's now poisoned. He may get slowed, or I don't know, all kinds of cool stuff. But it's not too terrible for us because when we are stone, even though we lose all of our evasion, we gain damage reduction. Like, we're really tough as a statue. So see, that wasn't bad. We suffered maybe, 20 some odd hit points worth of damage. And now we're fine, and the Catoblepus is poisoned. So it was kind of like ooh, wow. He gores us for a lot. Wow, that was what? 20 points of damage? So he could two-shot us? Oh, hey. Huh. The fact that I accidentally quivered arrows of dispersal because I ran out of normal arrows might have saved our butts. Because I blinked it away. That's really cool. Arrows of dispersal are so good. I wish I screwed up with them less frequently. And therefore had more of them at my disposal. But that was cool. We just took on a really difficult enemy. Those things are extremely dangerous, especially when eat a bunch of yak. Especially when there are other monsters around, because like you saw, it didn't do a whole lot of damage to us when we were stoned, as it were. See, we can eat rotting chunks of flesh, so we can make use of that yak. But if there had been other guys there, like, there are monsters that can do a whole lot more damage than a Cataplebus can. Catoplebus. Um, than the Stone Buffalo. That's what we'll call it, Stone Buffalo. Um, there are a lot more dangerous critters in the lair than that. And they can and will kill you in 1 or 2 hits. Like that 7-headed Hydra earlier would have just mashed us up in its many jaws while we were a statue. We found a cloak for the first time. Yay! Cloaks are always safe to try on if you like your body armor, if you're okay with your body armor. Not body odor, body armor. Because if a cloak is cursed, worst case scenario, it's a -2 cloak, and you lose 1 armor class, and that's fine. The thing is, you can't change your body armor if you are wearing a cursed cloak without removing the curse. So, our conjuration skill reached level 10. We can unfocus that. Probably still leave it on. I really want to be able to cast some high-level conjuration spells if we come across them. I think I want to put points into Earth Magic. We're going to stop focusing evocations. We might stop training it altogether at level 8, when it reaches level 8. Green rats. I ain't scared of no green rats. I am a little scared of that spiny frog. And you should give green rats respect, especially early on. They can surround you and be a real hassle for you. Ow. Spiny frogs suck. We're gonna shoot it. Again with the dispersal. Man, I'm just, oh, and I guess that was the last one. That's a real shame. Well, I don't know why it keeps default quivering to my awesome ammunition. I guess that's kind of a good thing. And, you know, again, Spiny Frog probably would have been fine, but a little bit of security goes a long way. I just, I bet there's a command that allows you to... Ooh, a spellbook. I bet there's a command that allows you to choose which order things are quivered, or to undo auto-quivering, something like that. I just don't play with archers frequently enough to know what that is. Here I'm going to shoot at the Quokka, pressing period to do so. That shoots right at the Quokka and not in the Quokka's direction and beyond. Oh. Electric eel, electric eel. Electric eel is crazy. Let's see if we can break its line of sight with some clouds of steam while we shoot at it. Yeah, if you... line of sight, as I may have mentioned in a previous video, line of sight in Dungeon Crawl is reciprocal, meaning if you can see a monster, it has the ability to see you, unless you are invisible or it's asleep or something like that. So the fact that I cannot see that electric eel right now means that it cannot see me. It cannot shoot lightning bolts at me. That is a very, very good thing. Yeah, but that's only so long as this steam lasts. I don't have resist electricity, but I kind of want to be able to travel on this level, so I'm going to stand here, hope that the steam... Oh, no. Jeez, I'm being overly cautious for no reason. I already killed the electric eel with one of those things. Probably the flame arrow. Dust mite, not too scary. Eat a little bit of fish, eat a little bit of gecko. The fish might have given us piety if we had sacrificed it. The gecko would not have at this point, most likely. Oh, right, we got a new spellbook. A spellbook, a book of callings. A summoning book, huh? Well, here's my thought. We do have that high-level spellbook. We have conjurations at 10. If we get summonings up to 10... If we get our spellcasting to level 6, we can see right away if it's the Book of Power. Yeah, so we'll focus that. If we get our spellcasting up to 6 and our conjurations up to 10, which it's already at 10, we'll be able to tell if it's the Book of Annihilations. which contains the best conjuration spells in the game. They just demolish everything, etc., etc. Or if we memorize one of these summoning spells, we can get our summoning up to level 10 and see if it is the Grand Grimoire, which contains the most powerful summoning spells in the entire game. So, well, we're going with fire and earth. So, I guess we could go with Call Canine Familiar. Let me look at the book specifically so we can see. Yeah, I like Call Canine Familiar. It's level 3, so we have a reasonable rate of casting it after we put a few levels in summoning, of course. We don't have to worry about air magic. And Lightning Spire is kind of underwhelming anyway because it blocks our line of sight, messes up our bows, etc. Summon Ice Beast for fire, so that would take... We couldn't train up ice at all. And I don't really like hexes. I find by the time you get your hexes trained up to high enough levels where they're really useful, all the monsters are immune to your hexes, and so it's no longer useful. Please comment if you've had a successful hexing character. But even my enchanters, like my Spriggan enchanters, I always worship Ashinzari, and I reskill my hexes into conjurations at some point. Yes, so for now we're going to memorize Call Canine Familiar. It has a pretty crummy cast rate right now, so we're going to turn on summonings, focus it. We're just keeping on evocations until we get up to level 8, because I feel like it would be a waste otherwise. Here, sharks are annoying. They dive underneath the water. Ah, more electric eels. This is not a good level of the layer. I don't like this level. Do not like it, Sam. I do not like eels, slugs, and ham. You're welcome. Apologies to Dr. Seuss. Though there is ham in this game. You can kill pigs at some point. There are sometimes cyclopes, multiple members of the Cyclops family have the chance of herding yaks, sheep, and there's a unique one that there's a unique human actually that herds hogs, although I believe Cyclops can as well. This Komodo dragon is one tough cookie. Wow. He hurt us a lot. I was maybe yakking too much. I'm trying to keep this interesting for you. Oh, well, this is certainly interesting, and I will certainly end the video after this, because here is a chance of character death. Because of this unassuming-looking guy, a blink frog. Blink frogs are really rough guys. They can blink basically at will. It's faster than you are. It can swim, so you can't duck around water. They're extremely dangerous, or they just look dangerous, but even when they look easy, they can still just swarm you and kill you, because you can't really corner them. Like, you get in a corridor, one of them blinks behind you, and suddenly you're surrounded by them, and they're munching on your face. So we're going to try and just pull one back. I think we pulled 2. Because see, here I have a really good spot to attack them because the space in front of me is a choke point. But I have multiple spaces behind me to which I can retreat. And since I only have 2... Ah, cool. Evocation's up to 8. So I will turn that off. So since they're both since we're just using those 2, we might as well do that. And we might as well focus summonings, just so we can get that spell castable sooner. Spellcasting is not an urgent thing. Okay. Cool. Alright. That didn't go too badly. Plus, blink frogs have high hit dice, so we can sacrifice them for piety. And we're already very full, so we didn't need to chop them up and eat them. I'm just sort of exploring this area around here, and as I said earlier, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. It's gotten a little long, and clearing out all those electric eels is maybe going to be a tedious task, and I don't want to end a video with something like that. I'll end it with excitingness, like blank frogs. Toodaloo.